Hey friend, happy full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. It's actually going to be 16 degrees in Taurus. So if you have any placements like your sun, your moon, etc., and near the 16 degrees in a fixed sign, this full moon lunar eclipse experience is going to be extra potent for you. The full moon lunar eclipse is happening on Tuesday, November 8th at 5:01 a.m. Central. So make sure you do your time zone thing. Um, I didn't introduce myself. If you're new here, my name is Latoya from Emerald Astrology, and I'm an intuitive astrologer. Love talking about the moon and just sharing my insights about what I see about these different transits that are going on. So full moons, if you don't know about it, is all about, a great time to celebrate what you've been through. It usually shows a new meaning in an area of your life. And once it starts to wane, it's a great time to start releasing something that doesn't have great meaning in your life. So, like I mentioned, it's you're seeing something new and also releasing what is not supportive of you. I'm gonna actually put this down because it's probably flickering. Um, So with it being Taurus, Taurus element is earth and mode is it's fixed. So this experience is more focused on our materials, our possessions. Taurus rules these things, and the full moon will be highlighting this area of our lives that has to do with how we relate to it in a very tangible kind of way, in a very fixed kind of way. So these things are going to be what I kind of imagine right now. It's kind of like this loosening up. We're having to break apart this aspect of our lives um, that Taurus rules. And this could feel very unsettling because eclipses has to do with major endings and major beginnings. If you want to look at your birth chart, you want to look for this symbol, um, Taurus. And like if you're Taurus, uh, if you're a Leo rising like myself, Taurus will be in your 10th house. So you just want to take a look of what house Taurus rules for you so that you have some insight in what area of your life this moon is highlighting for you. Now, the things that you can meditate while this eclipse is going on, the positive side of Taurus is, your personal values, perseverance. So just really pushing through situations that might be really challenging, and in conservation. So you're trying to preserve something in this area as well as changing things up because Uranus is also going to be involved with this eclipse. So it's kind of funny because these energies are polar opposites. Taurus loves things to stay the same and fixed. And as for Uranus, it loves changing things up and revolutionizing in our lives. And sometimes what that would look like, especially within Taurus, it will be things that are usually pretty stable in our lives or now no longer stable. And that's even more so with the Uranus square Saturn. So we have a lot going on with this eclipse. And the things that you can really focus on is just like what you actually want to conserve in your life, what are your actual personal values, and like how they are shifting and they're changing in this area of the life that Taurus rules, and what needs to be changed up. What's the negative side that you just want to be aware of about Taurus is this tendency to be greedy, to desiring more than you really actually need, or this tendency to be stubborn in this area of your life, or hedonism. So like wanting, pleasure, overindulgence, and just not being mindful of how it's impacting you, your body, and the people around you. So you want to just like make sure, all these things are, just staying mindful of these things because with this eclipse, again, it's bringing up this area of our lives and creating massive changes. We might be letting go of certain possessions, certain ideas, certain values of ours, and needing to replace it with new ones. It's funny because like right now, the book that I'm reading that I feel I'm having a major Uranus transit, right? in Taurus, in my 10th house. As you know, if you're Leo rising, you're having the same, but I am letting go of a lot of different stuff in my life, and like, well, I think about how I want to show up in the world, and my home life is changing because I got that moon in the fourth house and that Uranus is aspecting it. And so I'm letting go of some things, and I am welcoming new ideologies, new ways of living lifestyle. And this book has come to mind. If you haven't checked out this book, I just started reading it, so I can't talk too much about it, but my husband loves it. And Early Retirement Extreme by Jacob Lund Fisker. It's a great book. So far, I could tell it's really helping us like really understand what are our values and like how we will use our resources in a way that is in alignment to what we actually value, and not having to overindulge and just like buy all the things and then like not really being satisfied, and like just like really taking a look at just different areas of life and like taking stock of like what do I actually care for, what I value, am I actually taking action in alignment with values. But yeah, anyways, check out that book if you're curious about like new ways of dealing with your resources and making sure it's in alignment with your values. So far, that's what I understand with that book. It's great. Um, yeah, so as I mentioned, lunar eclipse has to do, well, eclipses in general has to do with major endings and major beginnings. And here, with it being involved with the North Node, there is this development that is happening. And with it being the moon, um, and of course, you got to consider other planets that might be being touched here. But with it being a lunar eclipse, it's some developments that are happening within us emotionally what we're valuing and what we care for and what we nurture in our lives. There is development that is happening here, and we're just going to have to be mindful, making sure we're not being too greedy, we're not overindulgent, we're not, being stubborn about how things should be turning out. Really, just being really focused on our values and what we care about, like the pure essential values, and not just kind of like, the consumerist kind of attitude. It's more of like, okay, what do I need? Is this actually um, is it actually being fulfilled by like my actions? Like, are my actions fulfilling what I need in my life? And if not, if I'm overdoing things, I need to really take a look at that, because one, that leads to burnout. But yeah, so that's what I'm getting there. And we're still in Scorpio season, and with this, we're embracing this our ability to face the truth and be transformed by it. So, with Scorpio energy, Scorpio is all about, going straight, confronting any kind of like taboo or misconceptions, and really investigating, really understanding like why people are so feel so strongly about this thing, or we could just do this in our own lives, and like why do I feel so strongly about this thing, and what's really going on? Is there something that is unresolved that I need to find a way of resolving it? Be brave, be bold about it. And with Scorpio season, we're kind of all like harnessing this energy in a special little way, in our lives. So, and that you want to look at where Scorpio rules for you, to get some insight on where you're doing this in your life. The moon is guiding us to find balance between that need to merge and transform that Scorpio energy, with conserving and protecting what we actually value. So, Scorpio has this tendency to want to merge and then possibly lose themselves within the person, the idea, the thing that they're creating, whatever, what have you. There is this tendency of loss of self within the creating and doing of things, which some Scorpios are afraid of, and some are like, hell yeah, I want to merge, I want to be transformed with this thing. And but with Taurus is all about preservation, or preserving yourself and like what it is that you care for, and making sure that it's going to last for a long time, and then it's nice. And so like with these two energies, we're having to find a balance between the two. There does not need to really like take action necessarily, but just like this awareness of the two energies that are in our lives and how we need to respect both of them and find this nice balance while we're going through this lunar eclipse experience. Um, which I don't know if I did. I did say, yeah, Tuesday, November 8th. This is when the eclipse is happening. So you're probably feeling this energy, a week before the actual eclipse. But yeah, so you just want to be aware of those two energies. So, what can you do with this full moon lunar eclipse? So there's again this need to resolve, this bring awareness to these two energies to have some kind of um, ability to resolve this area. But with this too, we were able to receive some new inspiration and insight that otherwise would not have been had if we were paying attention to these two areas of our life that Taurus and Scorpio rules for us. Um, Practicing surrender, I have this book, Raise Clairaudient Energy by Cindy Dell. It's a great book. There is this practice here, and that I really enjoy. It's about clearing energetic attachments and wounds. So pretty much I can, if you're interested in this, you can email me and I can send some photos on how to do, like photos of the practice of like how to do some energetic clearing and their attachments and wounds. And, or, not and, or you can do it on your own style if you have like a practice that you like to do to help clear out any attachments that you have. But if you don't, you can definitely email me and I can send this to you because I would bring this all out, but then the video will be too long. But it's pretty much just kind of being aware of old attachments that you have and like how you're feeling about, your attachments that Taurus, rules or Scorpio rules and how it needs to be released because with the eclipse, there's this need to take things away so that new life can come in, so new energy can come through. And the longer that you don't do this, the more suffering that could be present. So just want to be careful, with that and just like clear out any kind of attachments that you have and do your practices there. If you don't have one, you can email me and I have my email below in the description. But let's go ahead and pull a card for some divine guidance, moon guidance, so that you are prepared for this full moon lunar eclipse experience. What should we know? Shuffle this. Yeah, this Scorpio has been this card's been coming up a lot. What I was going to say is that Scorpio eclipse was quite a bit. So I hope that you guys survived that. For me, it was a bit much. I had to establish my car that I had for like 11 years, and that was really emotional for me. Um, so some of you probably like, that's not a big deal, but like for me, it was like my symbol of freedom for the longest time, and having to let that go was, yeah, it was just like a really big deal. And then, I just really having to understand that, who I am, like what I'm doing, like is enough. And so maybe that's why this card is coming up now. Um, the full moon in Virgo, this beautiful card. So the message that we are needing today and leading up to the full moon lunar eclipse, or if you're watching it now and it's the eclipse, what you need to remember is that you are enough. With this Taurus energy, likely we're likely wanting to hold on to, to what is in our lives, even though it's needs to be let go of. And it's hard. It makes you feel very vulnerable, unsafe, and just like a fear of the unknown. And Taurus, we wherever Taurus rules in your chart, um, this is an area where you usually don't want lots of change happening. It's scary, it's uncomfortable, and I think what the divine message here for us is that you are good enough. You're good enough to have the change, to take over your life in a way that's going to benefit you. It doesn't have to be devastating. It can be beneficial because you are good enough to receive that. You are good enough to roll with the changes, roll with the punches, and come out on top because you are very smart and creative and capable and competent. Um, you are good enough to relax and enjoy the changes and what's being revealed to you emotionally, what is being revealed to you, and what you're actually needing, and what helps you feel safe. You're good enough to receive that in the smallest or biggest ways, depending on the karmic just the karmic I don't know the word I'm trying to get there, but just like whatever it is that you're supposed to receive in this moment, um, you're good enough. And there's nothing to be afraid of because what is for you will come and it will be in your life and you're capable of taking it on and making the most of it. So that's the full moon lunar eclipse message for you. I hope that you have a great one. And if you're wanting a more like reading that's tailored perfect for you, that's going to cover what this full moon lunar eclipse can bring up, because maybe you noticed that I said the area that Taurus rules. I can't really speak to that in this video because I don't know what that means for you, where does Taurus rule for you. So if you're wanting a reading that is more tailored perfect for you, so that you're aware of what this energy is bringing up for you and how to work with it, work through it in a way that is helpful. The moon readings are available for you. If you're wanting the opportunity to have these types of readings so that you have insight on where your life is changing, what to look out for so you're not surprised when hidden enemies come up, or money is becoming more of a challenge. If you're just like needing some insight on like when these different changes are coming up and like how to work through them, I also have the Moon Lovers membership where you would have 2 readings every month and a coaching call every first quarter moon so that you can get some insight and encouragement and support during these different changes that are going to inevitably come up for you. So if you're interested in that, that is available for you. If you just want one moon reading just to kind of get a feel for it, that's available. If you just want to jump right on in and just have the updates every twice a month and then have that meeting once a month, that Moon Lovers membership is also available for you so that you're not surprised by all the changes that are coming up in your life. You're rolling with it and you're feeling good. So I hope you have a great full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and thanks for watching. Bye.